Happy Wednesday. Welcome to this live stream where I want to update you on what is going on in the Calvert coaching land. It has been a while since my last update, and I don't know what happened, what the shift was, but I got a strong intuitive nudge this morning that now is time to go live. Now it's time to connect with you. Now it's time to share what's going on in our world, but also hopefully inspire you with some of the things that we do that will help you become a better leader and enjoy life more and take your career to that next level. If this is the first time you're here, welcome. My name is Camilla, and I serve top performing leaders who are ready to take their career to the next level. And I do that in one-on-one settings and in group coachings settings. We have a lot of other things going on, but primarily that is the two settings I serve my clients in. And the purpose of this talk today is to share with you what is really cooking right now. And the reason why I'm posting is, hey, I forgot to mention something. The only way I know you're here, either on YouTube and on LinkedIn, is that you send me a hi. So use the chat. I love to engage with you. And next time we'll go live on Instagram and on Facebook as well. So if you're on one of these channels, amazing. But let's make sure that we stay connected during our time together. What's cooking right now in the Calvert coaching land? We are so focusing on authenticity of being a fearless leader. And yesterday, I want to just talk a little bit about the private event we hosted yesterday. I had invited my mentor, my friend, and best-selling author Lisa Asher to visit us and talk about worthiness, talking about the money mindset. And it's something that I have connected with when I started my personal development about 7 years ago, about that of feeling worthy. Do we feel worthy to invest that much money in ourselves rather than seeing coaching as being a money you want to spend something on? No, it's actually you investing in yourself. So we had a really deep conversation about that yesterday, and it was in the moment transformation. You should have been in the room. It was impactful. It was absolutely impactful. And what we talked about, and it's really linked to being a fearless leader and being worthy, is that of allowing yourself to show up and take the room. Right now, I serve a lot of women who are not authentic in really in a match with who they truly are. They're not allowing themselves to be powerful, to stand in that power. And that taps into all that also of being unworthy of success. You may experience this, but I serve quite a lot of women at top levels, that's VP plus, who also experience being in a room with big egos is very uncomfortable. Can you relate? I've been there, and it's very uncomfortable. I still have some clients who play with their big muscles, but it can be really uncomfortable. And being in that conversation, in that situation, make you feel not worthy to be in that room. The way to go about it is really about not being not not being not letting other people control how we want to show up. We don't want to give our control away. So the way to do that is to learn to reclaim control over your life, reclaim control of what you know to be true, and learn to acknowledge that right now I can see you actually want to be right, or you actually want to play with power the wrong way. The thing is that great leaders, the reason why great leaders have followers is because they're authentic. They show up as the best version of themselves. If you're in a room with big egos, they do not show up as the best version of themselves. Most often, they ride on fear. And I shared if you're on LinkedIn right now, I shared reshared a short video from one of my mentors. It talks about fear, faith and belief, or fear or doubt. And big egos, that is really the ego driving the show. And it's me winning. But that's not about being that amazing leader who you are at the core, right? So the way to show up and be authentic, really is to connect with who you are at the core, understanding the fears. What fears am I actually allowing to control my life, allowing to control how I show up, allowing how I take this room in this moment? It's also about being authentic. I- And in that authenticity, is about saying, right now, I feel challenged. There's nothing to do with you. It's actually about me not being able to control my feelings. And the reason why we at Calbert Coaching hone in so much on authenticity is that I've been there myself. I've seen the consequences of giving away my power. I've seen the consequences of mirroring people who I thought were the great leaders. But really, they weren't great leaders, because it is really, really hard and tough and draining to be always playing with your power the wrong way. But when you learn to be who you truly are at the core, my body's responding now. If you learn to be really loving yourself, you learn to show up as who you are, wanting to connect, wanting to collaborate, because success can never be on your own. Success only comes when you collaborate. When you embrace that, two plus two is 1,000. Let's connect, right? And let's create waves in this world. If you come from that place of authenticity, if you come from that place of servantship, everything will shift for you. I guarantee that. Or can I guarantee? I can guarantee if you lean into your edge, because it's about rewriting who you are and becoming a better version of yourself. And if you're listening to this right now, you say, how can I ever be a better version of myself? Let's connect, because it is actually possible. And you should have been in the room last night, where we talked about becoming a better version of yourself. If I can do it, I know you can too, if you want to take your life to the next level. And really, when I talk about success, it's not just about money. It's about being abundant. It's about being happy. It's about feeling fulfilled. That is what success is for me. And I know when you have success in all areas of life, my whole body is responding right now. You will make so much impact, because you learn to and allow yourself to stand in your power. But when you don't feel comfortable, if you haven't learned, and it doesn't come overnight, I'm sorry to say, but it's not a success overnight, but it comes by practice, rehearsing, merging yourself into this concept of self-education, of understanding the tools, practicing them. That's what my clients do. That's what I do. And really love when people just jump into that big sea and say, okay, how do I do that? How do I take the room, even though I never done that before, right? That's the way we grow. The thing is that when you learn to stand in your power, you will be a rock. And I had a conversation with one of my peers yesterday. I think earlier this year, there was a woman who applied for a free consultation. And she was really challenging me. She was criticizing me. She was everything in my intake form. It was not proper English. And you know what? I could have felt really offended. I could have been really allowed myself to be triggered. But I said, no, I accept that challenge the universe gives me. I want to show up. I want to really learn from this very toxic woman and say, okay, what can I learn from this experience? Going back into to the now, we're having this conversation yesterday. Yes, I did not stand in my power at that point in time because it was so uncomfortable. I even said a few times, let's close that conversation. But she wanted to stay in, and I said, okay, leaning in and embracing the uncomfortness because it's so uncomfortable, right? But the only way to become a better version of yourself is actually to lean into what is not comfortable. Because if it's something is comfortable, you're not stretching yourself, you're not growing yourself. And that's what being authentic leader is all about, being that fearless leader. No matter how toxic, no matter how aggressive your peers are or your upper management, what we know, and I can teach you that, is that it's all about their mindset. Maybe they play small, maybe you trigger them, but they don't take responsibility because they never learned to take responsibility of how they show up. But to me, that is all about being authentic leader, acknowledging when you're being triggered, lean in, because great leaders, they have followers, and they have massive followers, because people want to be with people who are who they are at the core, who dare to be vulnerable, who dare to share also what is difficult for them. I share to my tribe what is difficult. I'm me, and I also share my journey into being me. And I'm actually penning an article that is coming out later this week. And in my way to be who I truly am, I had to really battle with limiting beliefs and conforming to lower levels of lower standards. And there was one situation where who I am didn't fit into that lower level of standards. And I derailed for who I was. But actually, I put on a mask and it wasn't who I wanted to be. It's not me. So I, I rolled back and I said, no, now it's time to be me. And it feels so liberating. It's so free to be who you are. And when you know how to be who you are, you know how to be who you are without fearing what is going on, what the other person is saying, how the other person is judging you, right? Then you can create so much impact, because then you're coming from the level of servantship, not from the level of power. So that's what's going on in our world right now. I have a few opportunities. Is that we are hosting a event coming up next week about how you can actually control your mindset during the holidays. I know this is a hot topic. Maybe some of these secret thoughts that you never share with anyone else. Can I really delegate to my team while I'm on holiday? How do I do that? How do I actually relax and balance work life, right? That's another secret. And you actually work much more during your holidays that you shouldn't. And you're sabotaging your holidays and you're compromising on family commitments, all that stuff. I think we can all relate. But deep down, what is that secret thought that you have? So we are hosting an exclusive event, so make sure that you sign up for that. And in July, we are hosting a 2-day event on authenticity. And this is an event for people like you who really want to step into their authenticity, find their authentic self. It's not an easy ride. I don't promise anything personal development to be easy, but it's fun. It's fun to connect with yourself or reconnect with yourself. And it's so liberating, and it's so much freedom in that. Freedom of relationship, freedom of power, freedom of choice, freedom to do what you want, and freedom just really to be who you are. So watch out for the different announcements and the invitations. I'd love to hear from you. Either comment here on this live stream or send me a DM. What was your key takeaway? What is your secret thought? What are you secretly thinking that holding you back from really stepping into who you are at the core? So let me know. Thank you for tuning in, and till